Hi, Fernanda. How are you? We're gonna wait for the rest of
Hi.
Hi. Vamos a esperar que entren los demás para explicarles un poco, pero de antemano, disculpa por la anterior vez, ¿no? Un problema con Zoom y se me fue por completo la anterior clase. Pero bueno, now let's wait for the rest of the students. Hi, Yasmila.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? You guys can hear me?
Good. Yes.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So in the meantime, mientras esperamos unos 2 minutos más que entren los demás, Fernanda, could you turn on your camera, please? Okay, hey, Fernanda. Okay, so now let's wait a bit. Okay, so it looks like it's gonna be 7:05 and nadie más entra. So for now, let's start seeing the text. Give me just 2 seconds. We're going to share screen. Okay, so as always, I'm gonna send you the text Okay, so okay, so there's a link to the text. Before you see it, let's look at the title for today's reading. Ahí está. Hi, Ruben. Vamos a esperar que se conecten un ratito. Hi, you guys. Los que recién están entrando. I hope you're having a nice inicio de semana. It's Monday. So, okay, ¿quién más está? Romina, hi. So which one of you guys don't have your Ruben, could you please turn on your camera? Don't forget to turn on your camera when we're in class, guys. Ok, con esto creo que ya podemos empezar. El link del documento está en el chat, entonces pueden entrar ahí a verlo. Antes de que empecemos a leer, can someone read the title, please, for the text? Yasmila, can you read the title, please?
Sure. Genetic diversity in captive populations.
Okay, what do you think this is about?
I think that it is about obviously genetic, but how it how the diversity has a consequence in the genetic of people.
Okay, so we're talking about genetics in people.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see. I think it's a little bit more about animals though. Pero sí, igual, because the key word here is captivity in captive populations. So vamos a ver a qué se refiere exactamente captive. So here's a text. It is, give me 2 seconds. It's 7 paragraphs long, so we're gonna take about 7 minutes to read the whole thing. So vamos a empezar. Okay, so we have 7 minutes on the clock. We're gonna learn to do these a little bit faster. Okay, we have to learn to read them a little bit faster. Que siempre ayuda, ¿no? El tener más tiempo para responder las preguntas. So, ¿quién más acaba de entrar? Sergio, hi. Nice to see you. So, vamos a empezar a leer el texto, you guys. 7 minutes. As always, pueden leerlo desde su dispositivo, directamente desde el link que está en el chat. Or you can read it here on screen and voy a ir bajando. So we're starting now. We're gonna scroll down a little bit. We're gonna keep scrolling down to the second page. So we have 3 minutes left. ¿Alguien ya ha terminado? Okay, let's keep reading. Esperamos un poco más. Let's see who's in the class. Okay, we have more or less 1 minute left. Anyone done reading? O todavía falta un poco. ¿Ya están? Yes? Confirm, you guys, if you're done reading. o si todavía les falta un poco. Okay, did everyone finish reading? O les faltó? No? Okay, so let's take another. Where are you guys? ¿En qué párrafo están? Guys, answer me. Están en el párrafo. ¿Cuánto les falta más o menos?
I have finished.
Okay, everyone else? Girls? Okay, so let's move on with the questions. This one's a little hard because it's a medical text. When it's exact sciences, it's biology. So if you're not familiar with the field, it can be a little difficult to read. But let's continue with the questions. So Fernanda, can you read the question and the options, please?
According to paragraph 1, which of the following is true of genetic diversity? It can reduce the likelihood of the sudden elimination of animal population. It carries significance primarily for animal populations in natural habitats. It encourages people to take a greater interest in wildlife conservation issues. It helps prevent overpopulation among animals, both in the wild and in zoos.
Okay, so which one do you think it is?
Maybe it can be the
last one. Why do you think so? It helps prevent overpopulation among animals. ¿O qué de esa oración te da la pista de que?
Help prevent.
Okay, it does talk about how it's treating, no, cómo tratar en general, like a population in this case, we're talking about zoos. Solo zoológicos, because we're talking about captive populations. So only animals that are captive, no, que viven en cautiverio. So we're not gonna talk about this one, para nada, because it talks about animal populations in natural habitats. So no nos interesa este. It encourages people to take a greater interest in wildlife conservation. Also, no, not really. No hablamos mucho de qué piensa la gente. It's about what really happens with genetics. It helps prevent overpopulation. So let's see this one. It's kind of the opposite, actually, because when we lose genetic diversity, cuando se pierde, no, diversidad genética, it means animals are more likely to get sick or be affected by anything in the environment. So más bien se mueren. No es que se tiene una sobrepoblación de animales. So the last option is this one. It can reduce the likelihood of the sudden elimination of animal populations. Ahí menciona, ¿no? Cuando desaparecen poblaciones animales, no usualmente se debe a un factor genético. So reduce eso, la diversidad. I'm gonna go with this one, and yes, it's the first one. Okay, next question. Romina, can you read the question and options, please?
The author's description of alleles mentions all of the following except the number of alleles individuals have one each gene.
Gene.
Gene. Their significance among captive animals populations, the random combination leading to genetic variations, their contribution to make up of an individual's genotype.
Genotype. So, now acuérdense que en inglés la G es como que un J sound most of the time. Cuando está con una E. So, which one do you think it is, Romina? First of all, antes de responder, do you guys know what the word alleles means? Have you ever heard of it? Yes? Well, I haven't, so it's a new word for me actually. But yes, it's related to genetics and it's cada uno de los genecitos. So which one do you think it is, Romina? ¿Qué opción es?
The first one.
Okay, why?
Because in the paragraph passage, we don't, they don't explain the number.
Yeah, we talk about everything else. We talk about how it affects animals in zoos. We talk about genetic variations. We talk about how it affects every individual animal. The only thing que nunca menciona is the number. So yes, that's correct. Here, we have the word rudimentary. Where are we? The sentence is, at the most rudimentary level, genetic inheritance occurs when an individual receives one allele from the mother and one allele from the father. Sergio, could you read the question and options and tell us which one do you think it is?
Okay. The word rudimentary in the passage is closest in meaning to marginal, simplistic, revolutionary, and disquieting.
And which one is it?
I'm reading the paragraph miss because I just went to the meeting.
You came in late, sorry. But well, the sentence is, at the most rudimentary level, genetic inheritance occurs when an individual receives one allele from the mother and one allele from the father.
Maybe simplistic.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of words in, no hay que darle mucha lógica, a lot of words in English sound like Spanish. Rudimentario, same thing, it means simple, no? So, sí, es eso. So yes, it is simplistic. Good. Next one. Ruben, can you read, please, the question, the options, and you tell us which one you think it is?
Okay, why does the author mention a genotype? To explain why individuals have only a small variety of traits, to explore a particular variation in captive population, to illustrate the complexity of individual genetic makeup, to promote the importance of eliminating genetic diversity.
Okay, and which one do you think it is?
I think it's C, to illustrate the complexity.
Okay, why wouldn't it be, for example, to explore a particular variation in captive populations?
Because it's not talking about variation, but only talks about genetic.
Yeah,
Maybe.
here we're talking about cómo funciona en cada cuerpo, ¿no? Cada animal, cada individuo. So we're talking about qué compone de un individuo. So we're not talking about the whole thing. We're not talking about populations, just one. So yes, I agree that it's this one. And yes, correct. Here we have, 3. Here we go. It's not highlighted, but here's the word, inbreeding. So, Yasmila, can you read the question options and nos dices cuál crees que es?
The author's description of inbreeding in paragraph 3 mentions endangered species program endangered species program failures, comparable genotypes, DNA sequencing.
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 Okay, so what's it referring to?
I think that is the first one, endangered species.
Okay, why do you think so?
Because in the paragraph, I think that it refers to reproduction of the species.
Yeah, in general, the whole text, is
Yeah.
talking about how cómo funciona la genética en la reproducción. But here we're not really talking about cómo afecta alguna especie en particular. It's more describing the genetic process. Do you guys know what the word inbreeding means?
No.
Aquí lo explica, ¿no? Mating among closely related individuals with similar genotypes.
Okay.
So I don't think we're talking about endangered species, porque es general el proceso. Program failures. Más adelante, it does mention, ¿no? Que tienen como que programas que ayudan a registrar todo eso de la genética de sus animales, pero aquí no lo explica todavía, solo explica cómo funciona. So not this one. Compatible genotypes. This one,
Maybe. is
yeah.
that one.
Yes, I think it's this one. And yes, it's this. Good job. So next one. The word they. Here we go. Fernanda, can you read the question options y nos dices cuál crees que es?
The word in the passage refers to programs used opponent animals. Opponent.
Opponents. Why?
Because the subject of the sentence is opponent.
Yeah, that's it. Super fácil, super sencillo. And programs.
Oh my God.
Give me a sec. So here we have opponents of the genetic management programs allege that they can even lead to abuse. Okay, so here los oponentes no se están quejando, pero se están quejando de que they here refers to the programs that they're complaining about. Porque describe, ¿no? They can lead to the abuse of individual animals, so los programas son lo que causan el abuso. So it was actually programs. Sorry. Next one. Romina. ¿Dónde estamos con Marius la jirafa? Again, question options y lo que tú crees.
Why does the author mention Marius the giraffe as an example of a species facing a catastrophic decline in genetic diversity, as an example of what can go wrong with genetic management programs, as an example of an animal who was sterilized but kept in captivity, as an example of a success story in a European genetic breeding program?
And which one is it? Let's see the last one. An example of a success story. What happened to Marius the giraffe? ¿Qué le pasó a la jirafita? Here it says, the Copenhagen Zoo put down a healthy young giraffe named Marius because the zoo official said his genotype was already well represented. So what happened to Marius? To be put down, cuando hablamos de animales, the phrase put down is hacer dormir. So they killed him. So it doesn't really sound like the success story. El enfoque no es que era una historia de éxito. So this one, no. An example of an animal who was sterilized. He wasn't sterilized, he was put down. So also not this one. An example of what can go wrong with genetic management programs. I think it's more this one because antes estamos hablando de people who opposed, right? Que se oponían porque puede causar abuso en animales. So yes, there's an example. Ahí da el ejemplo de eso. Han hecho dormir a una jirafa que estaba sana, no tenía nada. And the last one, an example of a species facing a catastrophic decline. It's also not talking, este párrafo habla de lo que se opone, ¿no? So it's next question. Again, Ruben, here we're gonna buscar la palabra. Question, options, ¿y cuál crees que es?
Okay, the word superfluous in
Superfluous.
the word superfluous in the passage is closest in meaning to advantages, the font, exceptional, redundant.
Mhm.
I think it could be advantages or exceptional. I'm not sure.
Kind of the opposite. No, so in the anterior párrafo, we were talking about how they put down a giraffe because he already had a very common genotype, ¿no? Entonces ya no lo necesitaban porque ya tenía uno que era bastante común. So what we're talking about here, rather than euthanasia, again, hablamos de hacer dormir al animal, euthanasia of animals with superfluous genotypes. So en vez de, o sea, sería algo que es bastante común, ¿no? Superfluous was very common. ¿Cuál de estas quiere decir eso? Exceptional sería más como que es súper raro su genotipo, ¿no? Advantages igual que les sirve, es provechoso para los programas. I think redundant. Porque como with the case of the giraffe, it's something that repeats itself. So that's why they didn't need him. And yes, the answer is redundant. Okay. Sergio, did you manage to catch up on the reading? ¿Lograste dar alcance a la lectura? Or
No.
okay, but let's bueno, estos no, porque son más de contexto. So, Fernanda, again, can you read question, options, y cuál crees que sea?
The author's description of the species survival programs in paragraph 5 mentions all of the following except methods to prevent undesired genotypes from reproducing, transporting, or exchanging animals between zoos, wildlife reintroduction programs, technological tools to formulate breeding plans.
Okay, which one do you think it is? Here we have this paragraph where it's talking about the species survival programs. Vamos a bajar un poco más. Let's go from the bottom up. So, entonces, son cosas que sí menciona y algunas de estas no menciona. Technological tools to formulate breeding plans. Does it talk about that? Sí, no, eh? And the last part is talking about how they have database tools, wildlife reintroduction programs. Does it talk about that in the text? No, it doesn't talk about en ningún momento de meterles, but dejamos en pausa, bueno, posible. And the other ones, transporting or exchanging animals between zoos. Yes, it does at the beginning. And methods to prevent undesired genotypes from reproducing. Does it lo menciona? Yes, también, como lo dicen otras palabras, pero yes, it says one of these. Ensuring the health of individual animals as well as the genetic diversity of the entire population. So, yes, ¿no? También habla de animales específicos que puedan estar enfermos y que puedan tener algún genotipo no deseable. And yes, that's the correct answer. Good job. Okay, this is the one where you have to put the sentence in the paragraph. Aquí está el párrafo con los puntitos. And Romina, can you read the question, please? Y nos dices, ¿dónde crees que entraría? I mean, the sentence.
Despite all the genetic analysis and carefully selection, however, the management programs still may not work if pairs marked as perfect matches refuse to mate or fail to produce offspring.
Okay, and where would it go?
This type of question is one of that caused me the most.
Yes, it is.
B.
Why do you think so? ¿Qué estamos hablando en la oración antes? Or why do you think so? Dime por qué.
DNA.
Okay, what's happening here es que estamos contando el proceso de cómo seleccionan animales, cómo hacen que se reproduzcan. So here we mention, cómo les sacan ADN, they collect DNA using invasive methods, como que muestras de sangre y tejido. Then, they calculate, palabras clave que ayudan en esto siempre es buscar conectores. No, como acá estamos hablando de un proceso, primero lo mencionan, luego dicen, después pasa esto. So, aquí está el then. Esto le sigue el proceso, no le puede interrumpir una idea. Acá. Despite. So, está dando la contra a otra idea. Entonces hay que buscar a qué le está dando la contra. ¿Qué más hablamos acá? To decide which animals should breed with whom, how often zoos should also... So aquí es como que un poco donde se rompe la idea, donde están contando el proceso. ¿No? Aquí podemos introducir otra idea. ¿Y de qué estamos hablando acá? De que pese a que todo este proceso súper cuidadoso, a veces igual no funciona porque los animales no quieren aparearse o no tienen crías, ¿no? Entonces, pese a todo el proceso que ella cuenta, no es así. O bueno, no funciona. And it's also D. You can also put it at the end, porque igual contrarresta la idea. Pero sería uno de esos dos. It wouldn't cortar estas ideas. So that's a good tip to look at the palabras conectoras. And the next one. Yasmila, can you read the question options? Y nos dices cuál es.
Which of the following best expresses the essential information in the highlighted sentence? Incorrect answer choices change the meaning and in important ways or leave out essential information. Over the past decades,
Decades.
decades, corporate attitudes toward charity have significantly altered. Only in very recent history has CSR become important to companies in the USA. Over time, charitable work has
Wait a second.
increased.
Perdón, Yasmila. Sorry, error existencial. It looks like ya hemos terminado el texto. Actually, really fast. Y súper. So, es otro texto. Sorry, me perdí un rato. But no, we finished the text though, which is actually really good. Porque usualmente no tratamos toda la hora en hacer todos los ejercicios. So we finished it quicker than usual. So that's really good. We still have 20 minutes left. ¿Quieren hacer la otra lectura? Porque, como saben, en un TOEFL tienen más o menos 40 minutos para sus dos lecturas. So, idealmente, we should hacer por lo menos dos de estas en cada clase. So, nos ha dado bien el tiempo. You want to do another one? Yeah? Okay. So, let's do this other text. Y lo voy a pegar en el mismo documento, así que pueden ir al mismo link y lo leen ahí. Sorry, give me a second. Okay.
Miss, could you send the link again, please?
Yeah, sure. Da-da-da-da. Mm. Okay, and there's a link again. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big paragraphs. Igual nos vamos a tomar 7 minutos. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, so again, before we read, Sergio, can you read the title and what do you think it's going to be about?
Okay. Corporate charitable giving. I think that it's about a support of some corporations,
Mhm.
and they could give donations to other members or people.
Yeah, usually to groups that help certain, no, diferentes cosas. So charities son organizaciones que dan dinero a animalitos, a personas enfermas, a anyone who needs the money, right? So that's charity. And we are going to start con la lectura. We're gonna scroll down a little. We're gonna scroll down a little more. Okay, so we have about 1 minute left. Is anyone done reading? ¿Quiénes ya han acabado? Romina, Rubén. Yes. Que todavía, vamos a esperar un poco. Fernanda, what about you? Yes, okay. Vamos a esperar que acabe. Okay, so is everyone done reading? We should all be done, right? Yes. Okay. Now let's see the questions. Ahora sí, lo que estábamos viendo. Okay, so corporate charitable giving, más adelante menciona una forma más formal de decirlo. Corporate social responsibility, which is also something very talked about, ¿no? La responsabilidad social de una empresa. So the first question, que ya le hemos leído, pero lo vamos a volver a leer. Which of the following best expresses the essential information in the highlighted sentence? Que es esta. Incorrect answer choices change the meaning in important ways or leave out essential information. So the sentence is CSR, corporate social responsibility, has evolved over the last 20 years into a formal business function inside many corporations. Which one of these means the same thing? Yasmila.
Can I read the options?
Yeah, sure. And nos dices
Over the past 2 decades, corporate attitudes toward charity have significantly altered. Only in very recent history has CSR become important to companies in the USA. Over the time, charitable work has increasingly been formally incorporated into businesses. The focus of CSR related programs is constantly evolving over the time. I think that is the 3 over
Yes.
time charitable.
Yeah, because same word, no, incluso la misma palabra, siempre hay que buscar palabras hermanitas. En este caso es tal cual. It's a formal business practice and it's formally been incorporated. So yeah, good. We're just gonna do like 2 more questions, guys, porque ya casi va a ser hora. Pero, so yeah, that one's correct. And let's see the next one. Sergio, can you read the question options y nos dices cuáles?
Okay. Which of the following can be inferred from paragraph 2 about the existence of formal corporate social responsibility programs within companies? They provide certain real-world advantages that are difficult to quantify. They were limited in scope by opponents who did not believe in them. They generally exist as a formal business function even before 1990. They expanded greatly in number due to growing popularity in the 60s.
In the 1960s.
Okay. I think that it's option B. They were limited in scope by opponents who did not believe in them.
Okay, where on the paragraph te podía, porque remember, inferir, where it can be inferred, es cuando te dicen, te dan pistas, pero no te lo dicen. ¿Cuál es tu pista que te dice that they were limited by opponents? The main idea of this paragraph es más o menos, va en lo mismo, repite y da con diferentes ejemplos, una misma idea. So, which one is it? They expanded greatly in number. It's not really talking about, no, una cronología de cuando en la historia pasó esto, cuando se empezó a volver más común, at least not in this paragraph. So both of these con fechas, chao. They were limited in scope by opponents who did not believe in them. Estamos hablando entonces de que like, people would oppose to the programs donde tenían que dar a la caridad. igual todavía no estamos hablando de gente que se opone acá, sino de por qué es útil, what real world advantages it has. No habla de que for a business, ¿dónde estamos? Intangible but very real practical benefits that result from the corporation taking actions that promote the greater good. Y va enlistando, ¿no? Que it gives the company a better image, better publicity, and this is why, por esto tiene que como que relacionarse con la comunidad and give back to the community, devolver parte de sus ganancias a la comunidad. Sorry, it's this one. And yes, era ese. So one more question and we'll leave it there. Okay, so Fernanda, here, can you read the question and options y nos dices?
The author used roads and bridges as an example of initiatives that demonstrate how CSR programs can help a company make money. Public works that take tax revenue away
Mhm.
from more beneficial local programs, projects that a large company should pay for in the communities they serve, publicly financed structures that can help a company conduct a business.
Okay, and which one?
See?
This one, projects that large companies should pay for in the companies they serve. They all sound similar. This one's a little difficult porque todas sí se mencionan más o menos de alguna forma. Y hay como que algunas palabras trampa, like here it's talking about tax revenue, and here we're also talking about tax revenue, right? But we have to read into it a little bit more. Initiatives that demonstrate how CSR programs can help a company make money. Entonces, directamente, let's read the sentence again. Scarce community resources, including tax revenue and real estate, are allocated to the construction and creation of roads and bridges. So estamos hablando de los recursos que tiene una comunidad to make roads and bridges en una comunidad y a través de no, o sea, los recursos públicos, los impuestos, es que hay un camino and the company ahí entonces puede transportar sus cosas. Entonces vamos por pasitos. Primero recursos públicos, then esos recursos se usan para hacer caminos y luego la empresa usa los caminos para hacer su negocio y ganar dinero. So, which one of these, ¿por qué da el ejemplo de roads and bridges entonces? Es como que el conector, un ejemplo de qué.
Maybe public works that take tax. I only read the B and D.
Yes, I'm also too between B and D, because public works that take tax revenue away from more beneficial local programs, pero no está comparado con nada. No, from more beneficial local programs, tal vez quisiera proponer que hay otra cosa que pueden pagar en vez de los caminos y puentes, pero no lo ponen ahí, pero no menciona absolutamente nada más, ¿no? No está comparando. So I would go with letter D. And yes, that was it. So good. So we're gonna leave it there, you guys. Do you guys have any questions or comments about this class? Anything? No? No questions? Okay, so I'm gonna send you guys a poll. You fill in the poll y con eso pueden ya salirse de la clase. So les mando y okay, so bye guys. See you. Ay, perdón, ha fallado en enviar la encuesta. Ay. Hmm. Mm. Okay, give me, sorry guys, 2 little seconds. Parece que no está lanzando esta encuesta for some reason. Okay, let's leave it there because al parecer no funciona esto. Así que lo dejaremos ahí por hoy. And again, thanks you guys for coming to una clase súper inesperada el lunes. Perdón por hacerles perder su clase el anterior viernes. I'm so sorry. Pero bueno, la siguiente ya nos vemos el miércoles, right? Okay, so thanks you guys. Hope you had a
Thank
nice
you.
Monday. See you guys on Wednesday. Bye.
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 Bye, guys.